Join Darren Smith this Saturday night at 10 on WB19 for Indiana High School Football Semi-State Championship when Mater Dei takes on undefeated Danville. The road to Indianapolis continues. It's the Mater Dei Wildcats in the Semi-State Championship game, Saturday night at 10 on your only WB in the Tri-State, WB19.
Here's a look at what's happening in and around the Tri-State, a public service of WB19. River City Singles will host a singles dance Sunday night at the Executive Inn in Owensboro. Admission is $5. Doors open at 7 p.m. The USI Theater will hold auditions for its spring semester production of The Dining Room, November 29th and 30th from 6 until 9 p.m. You can call 465-1668 for more information. The Southwestern Indiana Association of Mortgage Brokers is raising money to be donated to Toys for Tots. Donations can be made by calling 425-1515. And Historic Newburgh presents the annual community Christmas celebration, including the traditional open houses of area merchants. Sunday, December 5th. Call 853-2815 for more information. That's a look at what's happening in and around the Tri-State. A public service of WB19.
On the next VIP, Val unlocks an ancient mystery, but when the Chinese mafia lay claim to the treasure, the real fireworks begin. On the next VIP.
This is the new WB19. Welcome to the Class 2A Semi-State Football Championship game on WB19. It's the fourth-ranked Mater Dei Wildcats hosting the top-rated Danville Warriors, with the winner moving to the Dome in Indianapolis and the state championship. Now, here's Darren Smith with Pete Hillenbrand.
A season-long dream will try to become reality for the Mater Dei Wildcats as they are one game away from advancing to the RCA Dome. Alongside Pete Hillenbrand, I'm Darren Smith. We welcome you to the 1999 Class 2A Semi-State Championship game.
Boy, great weather conditions for all kinds of football tonight. We'll see conflicting styles completely. Mater Dei all air, on the ground from Danville all day long, and the big responsibility, I think, tonight is on Mater Dei's defense's shoulders to get outside, turn the option in, take Himsel out of it, and get busy.
We've talked about Mater Dei. We've seen Mater Dei quite a few times here in 1999. The question is, who is Danville? Well, Pete mentions Himsel. Clint Himsel, their quarterback, very, very mobile.
Well, he's the man that leads the entire charge. The option quarterback has taken this option on high school football to a new level. He's been running it for 3 years. They say in Danville, you learn the option from about 5 years old. So he's perfected it as Mater Dei's perfected the passing game. It's going to be an interesting night to check this option run this way.
Danville, the #1 team in the state of Indiana in Class 2A, undefeated this year at 13-0, rolls over Western Boone 1 week ago in the regional 20-0. Mater Dei has been rolling on their own. They beat Lawrenceburg last week up by Cincinnati.
Well, they've just been throwing the ball right through the state tournament. They've really had a lot of success in the air, as they have all season and for several years now at Mater Dei. So, but the big thing is their defense. It has stepped up steadily all season long, and these guys have an incredible amount of confidence for a very young age, and I think they're ready to bring on the Warriors.
Jake Schiff, if you've not seen this quarterback this year, he has simply been one of the best. I have to keep reminding people, Jake Schiff is just a sophomore.
Well, he will be around for a while. The coaching staff very thankful of that. He has a few years ahead of him, plenty of time to groom a kid that's about a 5th, 6th, 7th grader right now, so they have a lot of time to look. But what a season he's had and what a career he's building at Mater Dei. You know, they've got an offense now that says, we're going to pass the ball. You got to stop us.
Mater Dei had a great running game last year with Nick Miller. They have a great running game here in the 99 season with Nathan Wilderman.
Nathan's made a lot of difference. He stepped in. It was kind of a toss-up who was going to get the running back starting job, and Nathan has really taken over things and secured that position. He's going to get a lot of yards on the ground. So Mater Dei does have a running game that balances that offensive attack, and you have to play legitimate defense against these Wildcats.
Winner gets Fort Wayne Lures in the state championship. Will it be Mater Dei or #1 Danville? We'll have the kickoff when we come back.
The High School Football 2A Semi-State Championship on WB19 is brought to you in part by Nutrisport, Pierre Funeral Home, Mark's Barbecue, the offices of Dr. Randall Oliver, Paul's Menswear, Evansville Sheet Metal, and by Jim Will Insurance.
Now open in Newburgh, Nutrisport, your complete sports nutrition warehouse. 42 national brands, EAS, Metrics, Labrada, Optimum Nutrition, and many more. Engineered food, protein powder, creatine, weight gainers, fat loss, energy. Best prices on nutrition bars. Not one day a month, no gold card needed. Every day, lowest prices guaranteed. Nutrisport, at the corner of Outer Lincoln and Highway 261 in Newburgh.
You know, progress is a great thing. Right here in Evansville, there have been an abundance of big corporations that have just moved into the area. Well, I guess that's okay. But now, after talking with my family, they know the importance of my choices and how I've lived my life. That's why I have chosen a locally owned, locally operated funeral home like Pierre. They understand the values of my family. That's why I trust Pierre Funeral Home.
It is the first meeting ever between the modern-day Wildcats and the Danville Warriors, with the winner going to the 1999 Class 2A state championship game. Welcome to the 99 semi-state Saturday night in Wrightsville. Again, Darren Smith with Pete Hillenbrand, and one more, Pete.
One away from the dome for both of these teams, and both teams, the coaches seem to be extremely confident about their players' state of mind. They both feel like they're taking it as just another game. It's the semi-state contest. The winner goes to the dome, but only the winner. Both of these two teams obviously want to come out, and both of these two teams on top of their games right now.
Or you could join us here on a Saturday night. Wrightsville, a kind of chill in the air as it should be in mid-November. 25 wins between these two teams. The Danville Warriors ranked number 1 in Class 2A at 13-0. Modern Day, some say number 4, some say higher. They are 12-1. So one moves on, one's season is over. We think this is going to be one of the greats. Pete?
Well, it should be, and it's underway right now. A perfect night for football.
Danville, who won the toss and has the football first, breaks free to the 42-yard line. They have got some speed. This team has a little bit of size. On the last for the Danville Warriors, Sean Miller.
Starting offensively for the Danville Warriors, at center is Mark Spurlock. The guards are Joe Green and John Richard. The tackles, Jesse Tucker and Josh Pine. The tight end is Jordan Angle. Your wideout is Travis Schaefer. The halfbacks, Matt Dugan and Brandon Campbell. And your quarterback is Clint Hemsel.
Does not throw the ball a whole heck of a lot, just 34 of 78 in 13 games, better than 540 yards. Took over for his brother Corey, 96. He has been outstanding. Several he hands off to. And the first score of the game may belong to the Danville Warriors. It didn't take long. Touchdown. Wow.
57 yards.
Brandon Campbell, listed as number 2 as far as your ball carriers, has the first 6. It took 19 seconds.
Well, not at all what you're after. With the modern-day style offense, you're better suited to play catch-up than the option-style offense is. But I think a lot of people coming into this game think the key is modern-day building an early lead and forcing an option team to play catch-up. But, boy, what speed from Brandon Campbell as he flashes that one for 57 yards.
Matt Scott, the point after. And as loud as the far side is, you could almost hear a pin drop on the home side.
Well, you can bet that Danville came here to Evansville to send out an early message. I know that they were getting pretty tired of hearing the fact that they haven't played a team above Class 3A. Well, you know, definitely the modern-day coaching staff realizes when you get to the semi-state level, you throw that out the door, that doesn't matter. There's been some pretty good caliber 3A teams up in the Indianapolis area. Modern Day very well aware of that, and now they have a message to send out on their own and show this offensive skill.
Danville 13-0, but their numbers are so impressive. They outscore their opponents 40-8, averaging, like Modern Day, almost 400 yards a game.
Well, Coach Copeland pointed out the similarities between these two offenses rather than the differences, which kind of surprised me. But he said, well, look at it. With the option, you spread the ball out. You have a lot of different schemes to use. You know, with modern day's passing offense, which is so complex, basically the same, just through the air. So Coach Copeland looking at more of the similarities than the contrast.
Good news for Mater Dei fans at this point, if you want to play optimist. Mater Dei trailed early in the game to Indy Cecina the last time they were in the semi-state and eventually won that game to advance to the 94 state title. They'll have pretty good field position. They'll start on the 38.
Offensively for Mater Dei, bringing them to the line is Tim Unfried as your center. Your guards, Jake Bayman and John Martin. The tackles, Jason Lewis and Dom Ferrone. The wideouts are Matt Moore, Jared Schiff, Justin Elpers, and Albert Schmidt. The lone back, the R-back Nathan Wildeman, and getting the job done, the quarterback Jake Schiff, leading the host of sophomores of the Mater Dei offense.
64% pass effective, 234, 362, 3,500 yards in 13 games. He begins on the ground. He begins with Wilderman. He'll approach 1,000 yards tonight on the ground at Mater Dei. Not bad on a pass-happy team. This has been a bulk of your ground attack, Nathan Wilderman. 2nd and 8 coming up.
James Flanagan, the linebacker, in with a crushing hit on Wilderman. And Nathan gets forward for a yard. But so far, Danville hitting very hard. And both teams starting with different looks.
The flat pass, I'm accustomed to that. Patrick Mallory has the first reception. He'll pick up maybe 4 more, bring up 3rd down close to 3.5.
Well, we'll see a lot of Patrick Mallory tonight. Albert Schmidt got the starting nod. But Mallory quick off the bench and makes the first reception. But what I was alluding to before that play, Darren, is Mater Dei's looking for the option and looking for it early. And Danville runs some cut block inside trap plays and breaks it big. Mater Dei opens up on the ground before going to the air.
This is 3rd down, closer to 4 for Schiff in a passing situation. He's given much more time, and he almost threw it away. A hand to it that time. Speaking of some size on the other side tonight, yeah, James Flanagan, one of the top defensive players for the Warriors this season.
Well, Matt Moore had just broken open around the 50-yard line, but at that point, Schiff was in a little bit of trouble. Talking with the Danville coaching staffs, a couple of different defenses they have planned to try to stop this passing attack, and one of which is pressuring the quarterback. Now, that time we saw more of the blanket coverage in the secondary. They did that so well, after a little time, they were able to put some pressure on Schiff in addition to that blanket coverage.
A fake by Schiff on 4th and 4. He's got a long ways to go. Trying to stay in bounds is the key. If he stepped out, he obviously did not get there, and he did.
They stepped out back at about the 44-yard line, the officials mark it, and he tried to walk the tightrope. It was a well-executed fake, but Danville did not buy it at all, and the primary receiver was covered. And you know, there's some rumors around that Danville has Mater Dei very, very well scouted. They knew at some point they were going to play them, but I think they've seen some extra tapes, and they really covered that Mater Dei fake punt very effectively that time. They knew what to look for.
1st and 10 on the Mater Dei 44 for the Danville Warriors, up 7-0 on your Mater Dei Wildcats. A hole opened up through the middle. They look impressive. To the 34-yard line that time.
Well, they are exploiting the size that they have, their size advantage. And they're doing it very effectively, and they're coming off the ball very well. And that's another big ground gainer away from the option. And they really are having luck up the middle with some trap blocks.
Brandon Campbell that time picked up 9 yards. Your top receiver for when you go to the air is also number 26. 126 carries coming into the game for now 770 yards. Himsel going to play it up the middle, go with what works early, and another Danville 1st down to the 29. So again, Campbell. There's a lot of talk about him. I mean, you're in the shadow, maybe not really in the shadow of Himsel. Himsel carries the ball twice as much, not bad for a quarterback, but Campbell's had his share.
As Jake Powers getting the call from the fullback spot. So the Warriors have yet to go outside with the option. They're taking everything that they can get on the inside, and there they go again.
And what Mater Dei needs right here, Pete, is they need a stop. That helps a little. That time you contain Brandon Campbell.
Well, Campbell, Tim Wright, both very quick out of the backfield. It's been all Campbell showing his speed tonight. And a back can get pretty spoiled when you're running behind an offensive line that averages about 240 to 260 and also has the strength and quick feet to go with that.
2nd down and 8 for the Danville Warriors. Again, a team that's averaging close to 400 yards a game. The middle not working anymore. They plugged that hole up the middle and not a lot of room to move.
That was our first look at Tim Wright. And I think that is the back that the modern-day coaches have most feared, with the exception of Clint Hensel, obviously. But Danville has played off of Wright and gone with Campbell and made him the star early. And so far their strategy has worked.
This is 4-down territory, but this is 3rd and 5. Himsel going to try moving the ball for the first time. He's inside the 20, and he has a first down. First carry of the night for Clint Himsel. 1,340 yards on 166 carries this year.
That's something the modern-day defense is not used to, and that's not making a tackle. Himsel made the secondary miss that time, and it's shown some very strong legs on that run. So, there's no doubt that modern day's defensive coaching staff and defense is learning what they're going to need to do to get this game under control, and they are a very responsive bunch.
On the modern day 18, it's 1st and 10. Himsel almost taken back. Somehow got loose. Finally pulled down. And a nice job by Josh Jareski.
A host of Wildcats got in on Himsel, and I think if it wasn't for Himsel's left guard, he might have gotten out of the jam. He broke the first tackle and looked like he had some breathing room and ran into the back of his guard. And then the rest of the modern-day defense caught up, and they'd like to force Danville to pass, and they showed that they were hungry for that one, the big loss.
Himsel taken back for the first time. Here is 2nd down and 18 for the Warriors. 6:45 left in the first quarter. To the outside. This again is Campbell. Nothing but daylight. Touchdown.
Boy, the offensive execution made that one easy for Campbell as he took that in from the 26.
Touchdowns 15 and 16 on the season.
Check that out, Darren. I think that was Tim Wright on the touchdown. And they played off the middle. The middle has been working for them. They faked off of that and got it outside to Wright. And he was all alone out there. A couple of Wildcats trying to give chase. Albert Schmidt, the cornerback. But it was so well executed up front. That's what made it all happen for the Warriors.
Ladies and gentlemen, Danville is for real. 14-0. 6:36 left first quarter. The 1999 semi-state on WB19.
Have you been put in charge of this year's company picnic? Or is it your turn to host this summer's family reunion? Well, Mark's Barbecue can take all the worry and work out of your next get-together. Mark's Barbecue caters events of all sizes with the best in old-fashioned barbecue cuisine, from traditional beef entrees to an entree of slow-roasted pig. We've even got all the fixings to complete the menu, including that hard-to-find burgoo soup. So remember, when it comes to your catering needs, give Mark's Barbecue a call. We deliver satisfaction.
Here at Oliver Headache and Pain, I see many patients complaining of what they think are sinus headaches. Sinus headaches probably don't exist. Most of these headaches are probably migraine in origin, caused by some complex interaction of neurochemicals and neurotransmitters in the brain, leading to vasodilation or swelling of a blood vessel. The swelling can be controlled with a new medication called triptans. These triptans can relieve your pain very efficiently and effectively and often allow you to return to work the same day with no side effects.
6:36 here left to play in quarter number 1. It has been all Danville.
Well, they've been able to get out and get on top of things early. You know, the similarities between these two teams obviously is the strength. You know, Danville comes into this game a very strong team. Modern day, possibly the strongest team in town. They have an extensive weight training program, and Danville is winning the battle of the strength early.
Mallory has a couple of holes. This is big for the Wildcats. Mallory down to the 43. Just what the Wildcats needed.
What a great answer from sophomore Patrick Mallory. And Mater Dei has really been making a career out of running back kicks and punts. They really set up their downfield blocking very well. That time Mallory had a bit of a seam and just was able to take off. He's a little fired up right now, and that's what we need on the Mater Dei sideline. Start that little fire burning.
With 6:34 left in the first quarter, you hate to say Mater Dei needs to score on this possession, but they got to come away with something here, Pete.
Well, there's no question about it. They need to score just to send out the message to Danville that there is somebody else across from the football from you guys, and that's really why they need it. And, you know, just kind of force Danville to catch their breath a little bit. And, you know, it's a dangerous situation for Mater Dei. Danville comes in with all the experience, 12 starters back from last year. And, you know, we've been touting the youth of Mater Dei all season, and they've had great success with that. Now they're shaking a little bit, and sometimes it's tough to respond. I think these guys have a lot of character and will be just fine.
2nd and 7. Justin Alpers had been catching those. He's one of your top receivers this year. 64 receptions, over 900 yards. That's 14 yards a reception. That one not there.
That one would have been a nice one to have, but it's still so early in this game. And Schiff getting warmed up. That one thrown a little bit behind, but in the neighborhood. And Jake will get warmed up and get that arm greased and be all set to go here.
3rd down and 7 for Mater Dei. Schiff up the middle, intercepted. James Flanagan all the way down to the 34. This is a defense that has 25 interceptions this year, along with 19 fumble recoveries.
Well, it's something that you don't see Mater Dei do very often is turn over the football, and that one, he was just playing center field. And just James Flanagan all over that one that time, and really had a lot of room to run. And Schiff was able to get over there and make a nice solid hit on Flanagan, keeping from breaking that one all the way. But now you put it back on your defense, who's been on the field just about the entire 7 minutes. All of this has happened in such a short time. And that's what Mater Dei needs to realize right now. We're still early in the first quarter. Let's get over these jitters and get some hits.
Back on the ground. I say back on the ground. They will keep it there basically about 90%. There is Brandon Campbell again. And he carries the ball for the 5th time tonight.
It looks like he's a little bit shaken up.
2nd down.
Picked up a deuce that time. 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Danville Warriors. A team that got here by beating Tri-West Hendricks 70-23. A scare against Southmont. They would shut out Monrovia, and last week Western Boone, an opponent Mater Dei knows all too well this time of season. 2nd and 8 to the 25.
Nice spin by Jake Powers that time when he ran into traffic. Pretty impressive run. You know, these two teams have never met before, but the common opponents being Monrovia, Western Boone, Tri-West Hendricks. Mater Dei's had some success against Monrovia in the past. At the regional level, I believe it was when they met. They met Tri-West at semi-state, I believe,
in
back
89.
in the late 80s.
They lost that game, though.
Boy, that was a bitter, cold, windy game up at Tri-West, which is very close to Danville.
This is 3rd down and 2. And it appears that Danville, once again, has a 1st down unless they get a really bad spot.
Well, they just continued to move the football, and now they've taken it. The Mater Dei's tightened it up on the inside, but Danville still is able to get 2, 3, 4, 5 yards a pop, and they're just riding that big line and making Mater Dei work. And really, Mater Dei needs a drive to keep the defense off of the field for a little while. These guys have been on most of the first quarter, and believe me, Danville's size and strength up front make them work.
This is 1st and 10 from the 20. Himsel will keep. He saw a hole. He gets out to the 10, close again to another Danville 1st down.
Well, you know, that's a nice little gain for Danville, but the big thing that happened for Mater Dei is the safety Jason Scheller made an open field solo tackle on Himsel. So that's a pretty big turnaround right now. And that's a confidence builder. Yeah, he gained some yards on that one, but that's a big open field tackle, and they've overcome some things they were having trouble with earlier this quarter.
Second carry of the night for Clint Himsel. 2nd and 1 here coming up for Danville. 3:15 and rolling here in a Danville first quarter. Second, about 1. Himsel again, hands off. And looks inside the 5. Turns there again and finds Brandon Campbell. It's not difficult to see what Danville's doing. If Himsel doesn't keep all of twice now, it's either Campbell or Tim Wright. 26 or 28, take your pick.
Well, they're playing confident football. There's no poker face right now, really, out there. They found what's working for them, and they're throwing all their cards out there on the table and making the Mater Dei defense stop that. And so far, it's Danville in control, and Mater Dei looking to turn the tables, and big-time stops coming here. 1st and goal inside the 5.
Looking to sweep towards the outside. You're halfway home from that point. Pick up 2.5. Bring up 2nd down and goal.
Number 26, Campbell.
Brandon Campbell again getting the call.
Brandon picks up about 3, and they spot that down at the 2-yard line. So Danville knocking on the door again. It's a big opportunity for Mater Dei to turn things around right here and to have the defense step up and turn the ball over to the offensive unit at this point.
2nd and goal from the 2. You saw how close, looking for the end zone. Touchdown.
Don't think he made, well, he did get in. Well, that's what you get when you have that kind of strength up front. You just move that line of scrimmage, and I think Himsel was about 2 or 3 yards deep before he ended up stopping. But he just powered it in right behind the big guys.
Himsel gets in for the 27th time this season. He had 3 touchdowns last week in that big win over Western Boone. Looking for a 2-point conversion. Salt in the wound? No. But it's still 20-0 Danville as we keep it here with 2:05 to go in the first quarter, Pete.
Well, I think you get the guys to the sidelines and say there's, a lot of time for us to score. Mater Dei can score so quickly, and Schiff he has a lot of patience and a lot of poise back there. The biggest thing to guard against is shaken confidence.
Some hopeful fans perhaps right there, some future Wildcats perhaps. But Mater Dei has not trailed much this season, never mind trailing 20-0 in 99.
Well, they have so much confidence in their offense. There are so many different ways that they can score, and you just need to keep that on your mind and, catch Danville on their heels a little bit. It's kind of a curse when you get, blow a game wide open this early. You never know which way it'll turn after that. And, Mater Dei, you can't turn your head.
20-0 Danville. 2:05 to go in the big Warriors first quarter. Nathan Wilderman, a little luck with the hop, breaks the 40. Wilderman into Danville territory. So again, for Mater Dei, great field position. Let's see what they do with it.
Boy, Nathan that time was the one that delivered the hit on the tackle. Nick Scott is no small man. Nick's the center on defense, or the cornerback on defense, I'm sorry. And Nick took a powder from Nathan that time. They kicked it away from Mallory, and Wilderman made it pay.
Mater Dei gets here in the postseason with wins over North Knox, the Blue Jackets of Mitchell, Southridge, and Lawrenceburg last week in the regional. 1st and 10, a little shuttle pass forward. Got to get you to the 45. May have picked up 4 on that. Bring up 2nd down and 6. Complete that time to Nathan Wilderman. Uses the part-time receiver this year as well.
Nice little hit by Matt Dugan there to stop Wilderman. Mater Dei likes to run that little shuffle pass, and they run it very effectively. And Wilderman got it into the linebacking area. They got about 4 on that.
2nd down and 6 for Mater Dei. Again, triplets to the outside here for the Wildcats. Schiff here goes near side. Pass complete to Matt Moore. His first. Mater Dei has a 1st down.
Well, that's where you start. You start with the little things. If you save your nickels and dimes, the dollars take care of themselves. And Mater Dei now looking towards the nickels and dimes right now. And Let the touchdowns take care of themselves.
To the 38, Mater Dei, 275 yards via the air per week, 120 on the ground, most of that Wilderman. Almost 400 total yards a week. They're outscoring their opponents coming into this game, 39-17. Far side, complete. First down again for the Wildcats, around the 26.
They just really have that covered so well. That's Justin Elpers on the reception. Goes for 11 and enough for a Wildcat first down. So now they'll get the wheels turning and get the crowd back into the ball game and get their confidence up.
Top receiver this year for the Wildcats, although Elpers and Schiff have been pretty much about the same. Elpers now approaching 1,000 receiving yards on the season. Jared Schiff will be there soon. First and 10 from the 27. Final minute of the first quarter. Schiff keeps at times, nothing there. He'll pick up the first down by himself. Hit hard right around the 15-yard line. Boy, was he ever. I mean, we're talking rocked, Pete.
Boy, he sure was. Looking for the number of that truck.
That's Tim Wright, who also does it defensively, as a matter of fact.
Well, and Schiff got up, fired the ball down at the spot, and said, "Is that all you got?" Schiff can take that. He can take that in. He says,
he's tough like his brother.
Is that all you got? So Schiff showed great poise of getting flushed out of the pocket and running that deep into the secondary for another first down.
Mater Dei needs something. There's the pass complete to Justin Elpers, and Elpers slips at the 5, and that's close to a first down, and that will take us into the second quarter. So Mater Dei starts to move the football, but they spot Danville 20 in the 1999 Class 2A semi-state championship game.
Do you want quick in-and-out shopping? Then shop Paul's Menswear. Conveniently located on Franklin Street, park behind Paul's and shop a family-owned store for quality and service. From suits, sport coats, casual outfits like Dockers, wrinkle-free Hanger, Arrow, and Duckhead, to our huge selection of Levi jeans. For all your clothing needs, the choice is simple. Come to Paul's Menswear, where quality and service are never second best.
Under one roof, we have every type of contour cutting equipment your job might require.
Matching technology to the job.
We use the most advanced laser, plasma, and water jet cutting equipment.
Advanced computerized equipment means you never need to pay for costly hard tooling.
Evansville Sheet Metal Works can meet the customer's most stringent requirements for edge quality and tolerance specifications.
Making the most of metal since 1946.
I'm Darren Smith with Pete Hillenbrand. Happy you could join us for the 1999 Class 2A Indiana Semi-State Championship. The winner will take on Fort Wayne Lures, 6 o'clock Central Time, next Friday night at the RCA Dome.
When you're on the road to state, not many easy stops. And both of these teams have had a fairly, they haven't been too challenged up to this point. Danville survived a little bit of a scare at Southmont. But here you are at semi-state, and boy, these are just two titans coming together, both strong. The Warriors, quite a size advantage, but Mater Dei, no stranger to playing teams with size. I don't know that they faced anyone as strong as these guys, and that includes the Castle Knights.
2nd and 1 from the 6 here for the Wildcats. Need a first down, need a score! Touchdown! Jake Schiff. And that's just the 4th time he's running it himself this year.
I don't know if, they had a lot of time to talk during the quarter. That's possibly a Jake Schiff audible. He for a sophomore, they'll let him do a little bit of that. He looked up and saw something he likes. I'm not so sure that he didn't decide to do that on his own. That left side was open. Either that or the coaches up here in the box have seen that and said, hey, phoned it in, this will work, and Schiff was not touched.
B.J. Porter, are you ready for these numbers? He is now 63 of 65 with those this year. Westside Pride comes alive. 27. We'll be right back.
Here's something we think is worth thinking about. Insurance. It's like your job. You've got to have it. James Will Insurance. To many business people, risk management is a mysterious concept. To us, it's another way to make your business insurance dollars work harder. James Will Insurance.
Now open in Newburgh, Nutrisport, your complete sports nutrition warehouse. 42 national brands, EAS, Metrics, Labrada, Optimum Nutrition, and many more. Engineered food, protein powders, creatine, weight gainers, fat loss, energy. Best prices on nutrition bars. Not one day a month, no gold card needed. Every day, lowest prices guaranteed. Nutrisport, at the corner of Outer Lincoln and Highway 261 in Newburgh.
Well, there was no two ways about it. Mater Dei had to get on the scoreboard, and in a hurry. Down 20-0. They cut the deficit for the moment to 13. Darren Smith with Pete Hillenbrand at the 99 semi-state. 11:56 to go until the break.
Well, I think that type of a score was so much more important than one big pass play for the Mater Dei Wildcats. They started out with the little shovel pass, got about 5 yards. They threw it out across the middle, got about 7, 11 more, and, you know, just kind of engineered that drive. The broken play had Jake Schiff flushed out of the pocket for about 11. And a lot of things happened on that drive that will really boost your confidence. A lot more than sometimes a false confidence that you'll get from one-time flash big play. And I really think that was just what the doctor ordered for these Wildcats. And now we'll see what will be prescribed for the defense.
Well, Danville 3 for 3. Possession touchdown. This will be the deepest they've begun a drive. Right around the 23, as it's brought right back up by Brandon Campbell. Here again come the Warriors.
Nick Masterson, Darren, I think just kind of explained to the fans how the Mater Dei Wildcat football players feel right now. What a hit and drop by Nick Masterson that time on special teams coverage. And that's about the hardest hit we've seen tonight on the Mater Dei side of the football. He tackled that one with authority. These guys are feeling it right now.
They begin on the 23 for Danville. They've not gone to the air yet. This has been the game plan. It has worked. Close to a first down, and our first flag of the game as they go to the ground with Jake Powers for the second time.
It'll probably be a big one. It was a late flag. Jason Scheller with the initial hit for the stop. And face mask is the call.
The expensive one.
That's a big dog at tax 15. And
Jake Powers, who last week carried the ball 16 times for 150 yards. If that does not impress you, the kid is just a freshman. So all the way to the 46 with the penalty. And obviously a Danville first down.
That's a tough one to take when you need a big stop. But that'll happen in a football game. What an impressive run by Powers, just straight ahead strength. These guys have a host of talented backs.
The bulk of his carries, the freshman, in the postseason. Faked a couple, tries to head fake a couple of more, out to around the 50 to the 49. And again, they go with all reliable this season, Tim Wright.
He ran a long way for those 6 yards. Didn't fool many. Mater Dei about had Wright stopped in the backfield. A nice cutback. And he made 3 tacklers work hard that time.
Mater Dei trying to stop Danville for the first time. Granted, it's early. 10:50 here to go until halftime. Danville leading Mater Dei 20-7. His second down, closer to 6. This is Brandon Campbell. Campbell has the first down. I mean, they're running at will right now, Pete.
Well, they just don't need much of a hole to get through at the line of scrimmage, and they're just sneaking behind the big guys and getting into the secondary. And the Wildcats still haven't faced the big outside option that they were concerned about. You know, you look for the play to go to the outsides, and they've just been attacking the middle. It's similar to having a ground game to establish your pass. And, you know, they're running inside to establish the outside option. Well, they haven't had to go to that yet. And the Cat defense can't forget that that's still in the weaponry.
There again is a freshman, Jake Powers. This team had lost a great running back last year in the name of Brandon Fleece, and they're wondering who was going to fill that hole. The answer was the 8th grader at the time, Jake Powers.
Boy, that's unbelievable. You know, and it was a different style last year. They had 3 rushers go over 1,100 yards last season. Now they have 6 carry the ball, 4 primaries, the least of which has 400 yards. But, you know, they have spread it around much more, and it's a lot more for the defense to watch.
2nd down and 4. Again, the freshman. Not even built like a freshman. This kid that's 6'1", closing in on 200 pounds. You can get a good look right there. Number 45, Jake Powers.
I tell you what, he's looks like an early model of the big Purdue fullback Allstott, now running down in Tampa.
You're right. You look at him, that's a freshman? Sure is.
Oh, he makes the defense look at a lot of sky because he knocks a lot of them on their backs.
1st and 10 from the 28. Himsel keeps. You saw where he found the hole. He is close to a 1st down.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, he's making them miss. He's making Mater Dei miss their tackles, and that's something that Mater Dei is just not used to. Their defense has had a lot of success lately.
Mater Dei is going to take a timeout here, and this is a good call. You really want to put the stops on here. They've marched the ball upfield at will. Sometimes pretty good field position. This drive actually began on the 23. Now on the Mater Dei 28 with 8:54 left until halftime.
It's just been a pure ground attack by the Warriors.
Has not gone to the air yet. Hasn't had to.
One time was sacked.
You're right.
Attempted to go to the air.
Attempted.
So he wasn't given the opportunity.
Danville has never won the semi-state. One reason they spent a lot of time in 3A. You're just trying to get by, well, Indy Chittard for one, last year's 3A state champion.
They had a tough ticket out of the sectional for the last several years.
It was not tough this year for the Warriors, although they survived a scare to Southmont. They beat Tri-West. I told you they beat Monrovia, stopped that John Standiford kid who's going to Purdue, and shut out Western Boone. This is 2nd down and 2. Himsel gonna keep, has the 1st down to the 15. Helped down that time by Eric Daywick. A pretty good year for the kid out of Corpus Christi.
Not too bad that time, and Himsel attempting to get outside with the option. The times that he's done it in the past, he's cut it back, and it worked again that time for another Warrior 1st down. You know, they run the option so effectively, it really forces the defense to play their assignments. It brings on so much one-on-one defense. You just have to play your responsibility. The outside linebackers are looking for Himsel. The corners and the safeties are looking for the pitch man.
Brandon Campbell. Out of bounds about the 1.
Well, they mark him back just inside the 5. I believe enough for a 1st and goal situation. We'll see where the spot is. If they get then they've indicated it is a 1st down. So 1st and goal inside the Mater Dei 5.
Defending okay with Garrison and Weber.
Just inside. So 4 to go.
It'll be 1st down and goal with all resting on the 5.
You can see how Danville has averaged 40 points per game. Just muscling the ball right upfield on the Wildcats. Himsel, touchdown. His 2nd, his 28th of the year, his 5th in the last 2 weeks.
Boy, another touchdown to credit to execution. I think most of the defense thought that was to the fullback Powers. And Himsel pulled it right back out of the gullet and ran it right on in. So the Mater Dei defense has been able to make the Warriors work a little bit harder, but they're still looking to put together that 1st stop.
Go for 2. Foiled attempt last time. Not that they need it. the fake did not work. And that faked me out as well, along with several Wildcats, but most picked it up. And the two-point conversion is no good. 26-7 it stays as we stay right here with 8:14 here to go until half.
Well, I really believe that decision to go for two on the previous touchdown might cost him a little bit if Mater Dei can keep this one alive and get back in it. Now he was forced to go for two to try to get that back on the even scoring. And it didn't work that time, so Mater Dei's successfully defended that twice now. And so, yeah, you're down, 4 touchdowns to 1. But it narrows that gap a little bit. B.J. Porter hits the extra points.
Well, if I'm down in a game, I know one of the coaches I would pick in the SIAC to bring me back would be Mike Gable.
Well, he knows how to get it done, and the offense is just so high-powered. And, and everybody will look to the air for the big play, and Nathan Wildeman can get it done on the ground, so they have that to play off of as well. But they have shown in the past that they can score very quickly and very often, sometimes often, inside the last 2-3 minutes of the ball game.
An outstanding crowd here tonight. They really love their Wildcats, and I'm sure there's quite a few here spread out throughout the city wanting to see a semi-state championship game. This is the first semi-state played in Evansville since Mater Dei won it in '94. Won the semi-state. Good returns tonight on both sides. Shakes a couple of more to the 50 and a late flag. We've seen him do that before, he being Albert Schmidt.
Boy, that's Albert. They're kicking it away from Mallory, and Albert made him pay for that one, and the late flag should favor the Wildcats. But well, it'll be clipping against Mater Dei.
Ouch.
I thought it came a little bit later than what I had hoped for, actually.
I'll tell you, not only is Danville scoring it well, but Mater Dei really hasn't caught a break with the few of these we've seen.
Well, the penalties that they've been hit with have been big ones. A couple of 15-yarders with the face mask and now the clipping on the return.
This really hurts.
It's still good field position, though,
right.
With Schmidt getting the ball out near midfield, so they'll have it at their 33, 34-yard line. So still decent field position, but takes a little bit of wind out of the sails. But, Mater Dei special teams have really had a lot of success this year. Their blocking schemes are really working, and tough break that time.
Schiff tried to get it right back. Mallory with a late hit.
The fans won a flag there, and that ball was out. That ball was out, and I think Mallory's a little wobbled. He really took a punch.
Did momentum take him into Mallory? Fans want a flag.
I don't. Patrick will come over and get some smelling salts, but boy, he saw the flash that time.
They'll be back. 2nd and 10.
That just was way behind the ball.
From the 33, Albert Schmidt, first reception, close to a Mater Dei first down. Albert Schmidt this year, 29 receptions, over 600 yards. He's averaging big ones. He averages 22 yards per reception this year. That's just short. That's not a good spot. 3rd down and 1.
Mallory comes back into the ball game. See how he recovered. He was a little wobbly after that hit.
Triples to the outside on 3rd and 1. We've seen Schiff keep a couple of times, and that's exactly what he'll do here. He has the first down as he breaks the 45, now approaching midfield.
I think Jake likes to run the football. He showed it that time. He saw what he had in front of him, decided to just keep it. Picks up a Mater Dei first down.
7:13 here to go until the second quarter, or until the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 from the 47. Schiff trying to do his own Clint Himsel. That time taken back for about a 4-yard loss, because Himsel, that's his game plan, keeping. He did see the hole, but he's quickly taken back by Brad Bailey.
I think it was 5'10", 240-pound Joe Green, and that's not as in nice Joe Green that time. Good wrap of Schiff that time. Schiff saw something up the middle, ran the draw play, but Green was there to make the stop.
Not as bad as I thought, but they spot the ball. It's 2nd down and 12. Schiff really airs this one out. Looking for the reception. He holds on. Jared Schiff, touchdown.
What concentration on the part of Jared Schiff. And that's good one-on-one coverage. You can't give one-on-one coverage any better than that. And Schiff gets a hand on it, tips it up, shakes the defender. The cornerback, Greg Schrage. And with the focus that he had, he was able to haul it in and just turn around and dance it in.
Well, these are big for an obvious reason. 26-13 right now, the score. And still a lot of football left in front of us. That is up, and as has been the story, that is good. So you give up 26 in the first quarter and a half, but you scored 14 on your own. Thoughts, Pete?
Well, I think Coach Copeland, before the ball game, told me that he thinks his offense can survive 3 Mater Dei touchdowns. I asked him what he had in mind to try to stop the Mater Dei pass, and he said, well, you can't stop it. He just said, you just can't stop it. And part of the reason is the focus of the Mater Dei receivers. That was a perfectly thrown ball, however, thrown into perfect one-on-one coverage by Schrage. And just excellent concentration on the part of Jared Schiff that time. And, where it stands, Coach Copeland is right. Now he can survive 3 Mater Dei scores. But he needs to keep striking while the offensive fire is hot. Now Mater Dei needs to answer the question, can they survive 4 Danville scores? And they're still looking to stop this offense for the first time tonight.
The big question, can they stop Danville? They've not done it yet. Bob Copeland is in his 20th year. He's in his 11th year here at Danville. He has been very successful. Onside kick. Pull one out of the bag for Mike Gable and see if this one worked, and it appears Danville did indeed recover. A couple of tricks by Gable here in the first half.
Boy, that ball went through the front just the way they wanted it to, and it just didn't quite hop up. It looked like there were plenty of red shirts to cover, but that football bounces some funny ways, and it bounced in the favor of Danville that time, and the Warriors hang on. Now you got to stop them, and you spot them a few yards. They're just short of their own 45. But you're looking to surprise, and sometimes that works.
This has been the case most of the night on both sides. Just good field position to start your drive. Himzel tried to bring it up the middle that time as he handed off, and that time they stopped the freshman.
Well, they knew what was coming that time. They were all over Powers, and they must have picked up the blocking schemes of those types of runs, because there was no question the Mater Dei defense knew what was coming that time, and they were all over Jake Powers, and they threw the big guy for a 1-yard loss, and I'm sure he's not used to that.
2nd down and 11, 5.5 here to go until halftime. Mater Dei stop and another score perhaps, or they have the ball first in the 3rd quarter. Even at this point, you start looking ahead a little bit, but you've got to stop Danville. Shaking loose. Brandon Campbell to the 50, still short of a first down by about 5 yards. A lot of running, and actually a nice second effort to get him to midfield. Nice job by Campbell.
Boy, there's Jason Scheller again. Jason's making a lot of nice tackles back there. The bad news is Jason is your safety, so you really don't want to see those backs getting that deep into your defense. But Jason Scheller is answering the bell tonight.
Pete, this is big right here. This is 3rd and 5, and they're trying to stop Danville for the first time. From the 50. Looking towards the outside. A head fake may get him a yard or 2. He didn't get there.
Boy, listen to the crowd reaction that time. That's Brandon Campbell that they went with. Campbell picks up a couple, but excellent coverage by the Mater Dei defense that time. Good pursuit of the football. It was Albert Schmidt there first, who forced Campbell to stutter step, and then the rest of the defense in great pursuit collapsed and forces the first Danville punt of the night. And that is a big defensive stop. Now you're looking for an offensive score, and you're just a touchdown back from the lead.
That was huge. For the first time tonight, punter will come on, but Danville will take a timeout. They're not used to this so far tonight. Matt Scott was getting set to punt it away. Do you even think, if you're Bob Copeland, and I bring this up because it's 4th and about 2 right here, of faking it?
Well, I think that if you're Danville and you go for it, you line up your regular offense and go for it. I think you would have better success getting the 2 yards there. So I wouldn't expect a fake punt. But really right now, Mater Dei's riding the momentum. I think Danville's going to try to go ahead, kick it away, pin them back against the goal line. I wouldn't expect them to fake it from the punt formation. However, it wouldn't surprise me if they had enough confidence that they'd get the 3 yards from a regular lineup. But I really think they're going to go ahead and kick it away.
Albert Schmidt backed up with Patrick Mallory inside the 15, awaiting the punt from Matt Scott. This is 4th and 2. They will punt it away.
Scott, get this punt away.
We'll never get to Schmidt. It's actually going to take a flat roll. Die around the 23, and so enter Jake Schiff. And like his brother before him did so many times, a 2-minute offense, and you have an extra minute 41 to work with. There's 3:41 left until halftime.
Well, they just score so quick, and that was a nice break for the Mater Dei Wildcats that time. They really would have expected to get the ball inside the 20, possibly as far down as the 10 or worse. And it took a Mater Dei bounce that time and kind of set right up there, so they take it at the 23.
Hey, I want to tip my hat to the Mater Dei fans. Even when their team was down 20-0, they have not shut up, and that's good.
Well, they look for something to cheer about, and they always find it with this team. You know, they just have tremendous fan support.
Timeout, second here, called by Bob Copeland. And with 3:41 left, not really a chess match, but interesting. I mean, this is a big drive, Pete. I mean, to say the least, you're down 26-14. You were down 20-0. Mater Dei looks to come right back, and don't forget, they get the ball first to begin the 3rd quarter.
Well, you definitely want to finish it with the score, but Mater Dei has accomplished one thing. You know, they have stopped the boulder that was just rolling down Wright's Hill. I mean, these guys were just on fire, and they were getting their yards untouched. You know, Mater Dei was not wrapping and finishing their tackles, and Danville was taking full advantage of that. Mater Dei has stopped that, and they put some offensive production on the board and engineered one touchdown and made up one with Jared Schiff's incredible catch for a 15-yard touchdown. And now they've got some confidence, and now their defense has stopped Danville, held them, and forced them to punt. So now the things are starting to click, and it's so early in the ball game still that, score or not, they've accomplished an awful lot here in this 2nd quarter.
1st and 10 from the 23. They'll begin this drive on the ground. Nathan Wilderman out to the 26, so a gain of 3. Here comes 2nd down and 7.
I don't know if Nathan Wilderman has ever entered a tractor pull, Darren. But that was Dwight Latshaw that made the tackle, 6'1", 240. Wilderman took Latshaw for a ride that time.
Latshaw has 8 quarterback sacks this year. He's one of the top tacklers with Danville this season. Here's Schiff, finds Wilderman. Wilderman finds the 1st down. 40 still on his feet to the 42. Nice job by the junior.
Boy, they're making this the Nathan Wilderman drive. You know, they've opened up the passing game and are looking to exploit that. And, Danville's looking for the pass, but they had, over 3 minutes to work with. So Mater Dei going to the ground and catching them off guard up the middle.
1st and 10 now from the 41. Schiff quick to the air that time. Finds Justin Elpers, who found 9. 2nd and 1.
what really makes it different than a 2-minute offense is Mater Dei has plenty of time, so they can use the full field, including the middle. They don't have to worry about getting out of bounds. They still have 2 timeouts, so they have the luxury.
That finds Jared Schiff. He's inside the 25. Yeah, I agree. There's no really reason to rush now. There's 2:26 left, and you're right. They have 2 timeouts left.
So, you know, they are really getting things clicking now. And, you know, they've answered my question, Darren. You know, the question that I asked, how will the sophomores respond? And I'm sure they don't appreciate that question. But, you know, that's a lot to put on the shoulders of underclassmen. And these guys are men here tonight.
Wilderman approaches the 15.
That's impressive. Matt Dugan, the linebacker, finally finishing Wilderman off. But Nathan Wilderman says, tackle me. And he's making them earn it. 9 more for Nathan, and those are tough yards.
Averaging 5.5 yards a carry. This is your leading scorer this year with 15 touchdowns. This is 2nd and a long 2. Wilderman's drive. 1st down inside the 10.
Another 1st down for Nathan, and now the defense is starting to look for him, and he is still getting it done. Excellent work up front by the Mater Dei front line to get Wilderman through the line of scrimmage, and he's taking over, doing a great job after that.
1st and 10. Not 1st and goal, because that ball is just outside the 10. 1:15 the storyline. Wilderman closing in on the 5. Picks up maybe 3 more. 2nd down and 7. Clock continues to roll.
Boy, Wilderman met Mr. Latshaw again that time, and I'm sure you've seen big number 60 on the screen on several occasions. He's no small man. Nathan Wilderman definitely getting the best of him right now.
Schiff throws towards the end zone. Touchdown! Jared Schiff.
He finds his cousin Jared. That was a mastermind drive. That was just a picture-perfect drive, Darren. Everybody's looking for Mater Dei to pass. They look at the clock. They realize they have all kinds of time. They look in the bag of tricks and find Nathan Wilderman. They find several different ways to get him the ball. He takes the Cats to the 50. Boom, they throw the high percentage pass touchdown. That was a masterpiece.
That is up. That is good. We'll keep it here with 48 seconds to go until halftime. If you're just joining us, Mater Dei trailed in this game 20-0. They are now 6 points away from taking the lead.
Well, they've got all the momentum right now, and they have earned it because they had to physically go out and grab the momentum. It was not coming to them at all. Danville was just hammering away at these Wildcats. It took them a while. They got the offense clicking. The defense followed suit. And Darren, we're talking about a defense that was on the field almost the entire 1st quarter against a lot of Danville's strength. And they have hung around, and now they're just 5 points down.
More than likely, Danville is going to go into the locker room with the lead. But honestly, who would you rather be right now?
I tell you what, there's a lot of uneasiness on the side of the white and gold. But, you know, I mean, they know what they have as well. And I really feel there's a lot to be said for the experience that they have. But the sophomores have them on the ropes right now, and they're reeling. And I think Mater Dei's riding the train.
Folks, this is going to be one worth staying up for tonight on this Saturday night. You're watching the 99 semi-state championship game, and it is certainly undecided. Not a lot of room to move for Nick Scott, the defensive gem that has 10 interceptions this year. 40 seconds to come, and Danville begins on the 40.
Well, I asked Bob Copeland about, you know, how quickly he thinks his team is capable of scoring points. And, you know, I get the biggest kick out of these coaches when you ask him certain questions, because he just looked at me. You know, he said, hey, he said, you know how the option works. He said, you spring one guy outside, and it can happen just as quickly as a big touchdown pass, and we do all know that. He said what makes his option so special is Clint Hemsel is at the helm.
Clint Hemsel's run for over 3,500 yards in 3 years from the quarterback position, going nowhere, maybe a yard, second and long. And if I'm Bob Copeland here, I take a knee and regroup, because as much of a first quarter as it was for the Warriors, it was the Wildcats' second.
Well, they won't even have to take a knee now as they just start the play clock, and we're down to 15. But yeah, you know, what a finish of the first half for Mater Dei. They go to the middle, and they gain just about a foot. So Mater Dei's defense now is, well, you could say inspired. That's definitely an understatement. Mater Dei trailing by 20 has taken over this ball game, and you would, by looking at them, you'd think they're winning it.
Well, you saw Michigan J. Frog. He was stunned. Danville led by 20. Mater Dei now trails by 5. 1 half in at the 99 semi-state championship game.
You know, progress is a great thing. Right here in Evansville, there have been an abundance of big corporations that have just moved into the area. Well, I guess that's okay. But now, after talking with my family, they know the importance of my choices and how I've lived my life. That's why I have chosen a locally owned, locally operated funeral home like Pierre. They understand the values of my family. That's why I trust Pierre Funeral Home.
Here at Oliver Headache and Pain, I see many patients complaining of what they think are sinus headaches. Sinus headaches probably don't exist. Most of these headaches are probably migraine in origin, caused by some complex interaction of neurochemicals and neurotransmitters in the brain, leading to vasodilation or swelling of a blood vessel. The swelling can be controlled with a new medication called triptans. These triptans can relieve your pain very efficiently and effectively, and often allow you to return to work the same day with no side effects.
Well, Saturday night at Wright's Bowl continues. Again, I'm Darren Smith alongside Pete Hillenbrand as we get set for our second half. 26-21 Danville. Pete?
Boy, what an eventful first half that was there in Danville right off the bat. Goes to Brandon Campbell on a trap for a 57-yard touchdown run. They go on to score 3 unanswered touchdowns, and Mater Dei gives up the 26 points before they get there. They force the first Danville punt. Well, now it's quite a different story as the Wildcats have really turned the tables.
Loose football. What a tough break. Matt Scott, the kicker, picks up the ball.
Well, quickly you give the momentum right back to Danville. Off of a tough turnover on the kickoff. The Warriors will have the football at the Mater Dei 20.
Pete, they had not had the momentum in a while.
Well, if the defense needs to realize, hey, we've been getting it done the entire second quarter, let's come back to third quarter and get it done again. Now with Danville back with the ball this deep in Mater Dei territory. I had to give them a little bit of confidence to think, you know, it's been a while, but I'm sure they remember how to put it in the end zone.
First and 10 from the Mater Dei 20. And there's been some turnovers, but that's certainly the most devastating to date. Now Mater Dei needs a quick stop to get the momentum back, which they own throughout 90% of that second quarter. Just underway in our third. Winner gets Fort Wayne Lures in the state championship on Friday night in Indianapolis. A short gain, no. A fake to the outside. Touchdown. Again, I was fooled. I don't know about you folks at home. That's a keeper by Hemsel, and it's not the last time he's done that.
Boy, it's all about execution, and it all happens up front. Everybody looked for Powers, including both of us. And Hemsel kept it and went left, and it was wide open as the entire Mater Dei defense collapsed in the middle, and all eyes in the stadium were on Jake Powers in the middle.
Well, they will line up and go for 2 again. This has not worked. It's one of the few things offensively that has not worked tonight for Danville. 2-point conversion. Now the freshman Powers, and he does not get in. So spot him 6 more. certainly within reach, 32-21, as we keep it here just underway in our third quarter. But what a devastating blow in the first 20 seconds here, Pete. Something about Danville scoring in the first 20 seconds to begin each half, huh?
Well, yeah, now you have to come back again. You know, you're on the comeback trail, and you're riding all the momentum in the world, and a tough turnover, the last thing that you're expecting happens, and it sets up a quick score, really set up by very solid execution and great work by Hemsel. And they run it in. Now, Mater Dei still 2 touchdowns. They still need 2 touchdowns to get the lead, but at some point, you're going to have to start getting these extra points if you're Danville. Next time it happens, I mean, you know, now Mater Dei's thinking, hey, we can chip this thing away, and those are some three points they've been spotted.
Well, the good news is if you're Mater Dei holding on here, you've already come back once tonight, and again, you're only down right now by 11 points with basically a whole second half in front of you. So Danville scores quickly again to begin the half. And Scott gets rid of it. They're going to say he stepped out right around the 30 that time. And Mater Dei will begin right here. Albert Schmidt that time on the return for the Wildcats.
Well, now Mater Dei gets the chance to do something here in the third quarter. Unfortunately, 6 more points in the hole. It happened so quickly. The fumbled kickoff return and then the one-play score. Danville scored from the first play of scrimmage in each half.
Here is Schiff behind the line, goes to Wilderman, who picks up maybe a yard. So 2nd and 9 coming up here for the Wildcats. Last drive by the Wildcats in the second quarter. A plethora of Wilderman. Nice job by the kid.
Well, they really took advantage of the defense that Danville had set up. They had covered the pass so well. They went one-on-one with the quarterback, one-on-one with Wilderman, and had everybody else taken care of. And so they exploited it right up the middle and made it hurt.
Schiff comes a throwing, overshoots that time. The intended receiver, Matt Moore. Matt Moore, we talk about the youngness on this team, and that is one of the few seniors that have seen ample playing time this year. A good one in Matt Moore.
With Craig Schrage, just great defense that time. I mean, you know, he's shown us great pass coverage, one-on-one. When they come into his zone, he picks them up, and he is just all over them.
3rd down and 9 from the 32 for the Wildcats, down by 11 in the semi-state championship.
I think they'll be throwing away from number 5 this time.
He's running out of time. He heaved it up the middle, intercepted. Nick Scott. For Nick Scott, that is his 11th interception this year, which ranks him in the top 3 in the state of Indiana.
Well, in his second tonight, and that one is trying to make something happen and avoid the sack. And those are dangerous situations. And he was right there for the pick.
Son of a gun. The number 1 player with interceptions this year is also in action tonight. Derek Peter over at Perry Central has 13 picks this year. Down to the 17. Almost not a carbon copy, but close to the first quarter. Danville. And did time get him that time?
This will be the first penalty that I have against Danville.
March off 5 with the clock. First and a rare 15.
That helps the defense a little bit. You know, it just gives them more yards to cover, and Mater Dei now looking for a big stop. That's exactly what Danville needed to turn the tables. Mater Dei had taken complete control of this ball game in the second quarter and had received the kickoff to start the second half. A couple of breaks for Danville, and here they are.
Was he drawn off? I don't think so. Looking at Jordan Angle, who stepped over, and you're going to look at 1st and 20. So back him up 5 more. And what began on the 18 is now backed up close to the 30 to the 28.
They're looking for some help any way they can get it. And then a couple of costly 5-yarders have added up to 1st and 20. So now the defense can get back on top of this.
This is 1st and 20, and trying the pass for the first time tonight. Pass complete. First completion of the night finds Matt Dugan. And would you believe his first reception of the year?
They don't go to him much.
This is a kid who's carried the ball for 500 yards. If that is the junior's first reception in better than 13 games.
Well, not what you're looking for when you're looking for a rare Danville pass.
Still 2nd and 3 with the penalty, but closing it again. Himsel hit hard. Nice job by Aaron Knight.
Boy, Aaron, inside linebacker, really put a hit on Himsel. Stopped him cold at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I'll tell you what, Pete. This obviously 4-down territory unless their field goal kicking is up to par. This is 3rd and 1, and the Wildcats need a big stop right here. 1 yard. Himsel has it and breaks the 5.
Well, he just takes the snap and just starts the legs turning and keeps right on the tail of his center. And follows him wherever he takes him. And Mark Spurlock at 6'2", 285 makes good and buys a 1st down for Himsel.
1st and goal from the 5. Trying to open it back up. That's a loose football. And Mater Dei has it back. This has been a 3rd quarter of breaks and momentum swings.
Well, the Wildcats didn't survive the first turnover, and now on the second, they get back some of what they gave, forcing the fumble of Himsel. I don't think he ever really got the handoff from Spurlock, his center. And that's a big turnover for Mater Dei to come up with. I mean, Danville knocking at the door with the confidence now that they have started this 3rd quarter with. Every bit of the confidence they had lost in the 2nd quarter, and that's a big break for Mater Dei.
Mater Dei takes over on the 7. Danville has not coughed up the ball a whole heck of a lot this year. Things are usually going your way when you're 13 and 0. Schiff again bought himself some time and didn't throw it away. He's taken back about 2 yards at the 5. So 2nd down and 12. Wise decision, a possibility upfield, but you don't want to throw it away here.
Well, if you just want to be careful with the football, you're better off punting it and give it to him at the 50, you know, than try to make something happen again and have him back inside your 20 again.
Actually, 2nd down and 13, trying to run out of harm's way. Wilderman to about the 6 is hit very hard. That time by Greg Schrag, 5'7", junior. 3rd and long here coming up for the Wildcats.
Well, they have so many plays that are designed to get short yards, and they'll throw that quick slant pass and get a lot of yards on the run afterwards, and so they have a lot of options right here.
So there, a look at one of the brightest coaches in the state of Indiana. Not just in football. Of course, we're talking about wrestling as well. One pump by Schiff. He's going up the middle and just out of the reach of Jared Schiff.
Boy, they played off of that arsenal, and they faked that slant across the middle. Kind of a little hitch and go as he looked, and Schiff pump faked, and Jared took off, and Jake threw it out there. And as Jared's done so many times running under those, that just out of the fingers of number 20.
4th and 11, Wildcats will get rid of it. 2 backed up at the 40, the Mater Dei 40, for the Danville Warriors. Jake Schiff unloads. And Campbell gets a nice return to the 15. Boy, did he ever. He's been doing that most of the season as well, too, Pete.
This is just unbelievable right now in this third quarter. They've had the ball at or inside the 20 on each of their 3 possessions. Mater Dei kept them out of the end zone 1 out of 2 times, and now they're faced with the same adversity. 1st and 10 inside their own 15.
7:32 here left to play in the third quarter. I'm Darren Smith with Pete Hillenbrand. You're watching the Class 2A semi-state championship. The winner plays for the state championship Friday night in Indianapolis. A carry by Matt Dugan, his first, his 73rd of the year, his first tonight. He had the reception, the big reception earlier. He gets out to about the 10.
So Dugan, you know, they've shown so many weapons that can get them 5 yards a pop. The Mater Dei defense had stopped them in the second quarter. Now looking to do the same here in the third, and to say they are challenged is to not describe it effectively enough.
On 2nd and 5, there's Brandon Campbell again. Little there to move, and 3rd and about 5 here coming up. Again, the Wildcats look to stop this running attack.
Well, with those 2 for Campbell, I have him unofficially 11 carries for 100 yards and a touchdown. The game's first. You know, it helps your stats when you pick up a 57-yard touchdown run to open the game.
Home field advantage will try to help out the Wildcats here again. Great crowd on hand on this Saturday night semi-state championship night. 3rd and 5. Himsel keeps. Himsel still goes and close to a first down.
Well, they strung him out very effectively, and they stretched him down the line of scrimmage, but just couldn't quite beat Himsel to the corner. He was able to turn it, and that's Justin Scheller collecting another tackle. And
that's a first down.
That's just not good when it's your safety that has to step up and get the job done.
Like I said, he took over.
Jason Scheller, I'm sorry.
He took over for brother Corey in '96. Corey Himsel these days over at Western Kentucky. A kid who does not go to the air a whole lot, although he's thrown 5 TD passes this year. He's run the ball for now 1,400 yards this season. Looking for the end zone. Touchdown. He has his 6th touchdown in the last 2 weeks. And this kid's a gamer.
Well, he just plays off of that fullback dive so well. As they send Jake Powers into the middle, and Himsel pulls the ball back and takes it left. It's worked twice in this quarter, and now Mater Dei again faced with the challenge of playing catch-up. But they have a way of making it exciting.
Matt Scott, they're back to just trying 1 once again. For the point after, that is up, that is good. They're at their average. They average right around 40 points a night. There's 39 to Mater Dei's 21. 6:05 left in the third. The 1999 Class 2A semi-state championship game.
Our personal insurance specialists offer you the reliable, dependable services that have built our agency into one of the area's largest. Now that's a reputation. James Will Insurance. It takes special people with special dedication to create the right insurance protection for you, and then do it right the first time. James Will Insurance.
Do you want quick in-and-out shopping? Then shop Paul's Menswear. Conveniently located on Franklin Street, park behind Paul's and shop a family-owned store for quality and service. From suits, sport coats, casual outfits like Dockers, wrinkle-free Hanger, Arrow, and Duckhead, to our huge selection of Levi jeans. For all your clothing needs, the choice is simple. Come to Paul's Menswear, where quality and service are never second best.
Special Saturday night telecast of high school football for a special occasion. Semi-state championship game. Darren Smith with Pete Hillenbrand. Class 2A semi-state. Winner gets Fort Wayne Lures. Friday night, 6 o'clock Evansville time at the RCA Dome. Right now, Danville leading the Wildcats, as you can see, 39-21. Wildcats, like earlier, need to come out and just score again.
Well, you have to do it all over again. You need to start a little earlier this time and get some momentum here in the third quarter.
This is Mallory. And Mallory to the 27. Life to the far side. Danville back on their feet with an 18-point lead.
Boy, there is just a whole lot of hitting going on out there. Adam Stewart that time with the big pop on Mallory to spin him around. But Mater Dei now with decent field position. And the thing that you have to remember if you're Mater Dei, you know, Danville has two quick scores in this quarter, but, you know, what high percentage? I mean, they've had the ball 3 times inside the 20, so you've given those away, and you have to realize that, hey, you know, we'll turn it back, we'll get our game back, we'll play our defense, we'll make them play on their side of the field a little bit, and things will come back together again. But it's hard to remind yourself of those scenarios when Danville is taking advantage of this. But that's very much a part of the story right here.
On 1st and 10, pass complete. Touchdown. And he worked and dragged the player 5 yards for that. Take a bow, Albert Schmidt.
That's a 73-yard touchdown pass to Albert. And Albert ran right under that ball. What a play by Albert Schmidt. And Schiff just laid that out there to the point where nobody else is going to catch that except Albert Schmidt. And if Albert can run under it, nobody will catch him. And boy, that's how quickly it happens. And now you give it back to your defense and you say, okay, you guys, show me what you have. And we'll come back out on the field and get you some more points when you come back with the big stop here.
I was going to say, Mater Dei would be thinking 2 here. Try to close the gap to, at this point, a touchdown and a field goal. Right now they trail by 12. 2-point conversion for the Wildcats. These have been popular tonight. They've not worked yet. Wildcats tried for Elpers in the end zone, no good. 27-39 by 12. We keep it here. And I can only imagine what it'd be like to be the Mater Dei faithful tonight. I mean, they were out of this game. Now they're back in it. They're out of it again. Now they're back in it again. 5:46 left in the third quarter is the key here. This is the 5th time Mater Dei has played for the semi-state championship. 3rd time in the 90s. They last played in 94. They would beat Indianapolis-Scecina 14-13 before falling to Bremen in the state championship game. In 1990, that was the magical year, not in the regular season. Mater Dei was 0-8, and then the chant 0-8 and going state came out. Well, they lost to Scecina that year, 34-14 in the semi-state. In 89, they lost to Tri-West Hendricks, 35-6. The first time they made it to the semi-state since the class system, 1983, they would lose to Indy Chittard, 40-6. So 1-3 for Mater Dei in the semi-state. This is the first time ever Danville has been this far, the semi-state, spending a lot of time with Indy Chittard in Class 3A.
Well, they welcome the class change, no question about it. But they'll really need to keep their focus here because they'll have their hands full with this Mater Dei team.
Good field position. Nothing big on the boot. To about the 46, and the return that time again by the freshman Jake Powers. And here again comes Danville, and Mater Dei in a must-stop.
Well, you need to get something to happen to make Danville go the length of the football field, still with a very short field now at their own 45-yard line. The good news, it's their own 45. It's the first time they've been on their side of the 50 this half, and they've registered 2 scores already. They have a very high-powered return team, though, and they want to keep it out of their hands.
This kid's been spectacular tonight. This is Brandon Campbell, all the way to the 35.
20 more for Brandon Campbell, and if there was any question whether or not he had 100 yards, that's been a race.
I was talking to some Danville fans earlier tonight, and if not for Himsel carrying the ball as much, there were Danville fans comparing this kid to a kid by the name of Jeremy Chadwick. Now, who is he? A Danville player from the 86 team that advanced to the semi-state but lost, that once ran for almost 500 yards in one game. That is still a state record today.
That's a lot of running.
1st and 10 from the 35 for Danville. This is Himsel. This is the kid we've been talking about, close to a first down.
Hit hard that time by Nick Gaffney. Nick's the inside linebacker. Put a big hit on Himsel, but Clint has been collecting the yards, and we still haven't seen a lot of the option. The times that they have run it, he's elected to keep the ball. He did it again that time, and it was good for 9+.
This is second down, a short one this time for Danville. The freshman gave way that time to, I'll say, a bigger ball carrier, the one that's got a little bit more calls. The keeper that time, actually, by Clint Himsel. I thought, again, they were going to go to that of either Tim Wright or Brandon Campbell.
Well, they tried to run the option that time.
They didn't get there.
They faked the handoff. They faked the dive, and Himsel was looking to the outside, but Mater Dei played very effective assignment defense that time. Everybody played their role. There was nowhere to go to the outside for Himsel, and it broke the option down even before it started.
This is third, actually, less than 1. 3/4 of a yard. Trying to pick that up. There's a Danville first down as they break the 25.
Yeah, that's money in the bank, and you know that the chances of you stopping that first down right there are very minimal. However, you still have to set up your regular defense.
That kid right there, Himsel, speaking of big games, had a 300-yard game this year on just 14 carries.
Well, when you have to keep an eye on the pitch man all the time, if you don't play effective assignment football, Himsel keeps it and goes for a game like that.
Handoff up the middle to about the 16. Yeah, carry again by Brandon Campbell. This is his senior year.
Little delay that time and allowed a lot of things to happen up front.
Picks up 6. This will be second down and 4 for the Danville Warriors. Moving inside of 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And the initial hit actually worked that time. That was enough to slow down just a bit. Weinzappel that time. Credited with the stop.
Al coming in from the end position. Him and his brother Adam are the brothers bookends for Mater Dei.
This again huge, although you feel they're going to have to stop him twice. This is 3rd and 4 for about the 18. Again, room for Campbell.
I think we'll see a flag and bring... Nope, my bad. My bad.
Touchdown, Danville.
Well, they got the option out that time to the outside, and they sealed off the Mater Dei right, is where I thought the flag would come from, and he just took right behind that and went all the way in.
45-27, and I don't say this just to keep you tuned in here on a Saturday night, but you have that feeling that although it looks good for Danville, it's not over the way Mater Dei is coming back and coming back. And so again, they'll try Matt Scott for the point after. That is up, and that is good. It'll be tough to come back as Danville opens it up again. 46-27 and 2:22 here left in the third. We keep it here. And, fortunately on Mater Dei's side, they've got a quarterback who runs the 2-minute offense pretty well. He's not had to use it a lot this year, but would need a couple of those coming up here in the next 14 minutes, Pete.
Well, they covered that option fairly well, but you have to remember that's the first time they've really seen that unfold. Danville's been turning everything into the inside, and then they get Brandon out there to the outside, and Himsel sees him and flips it a pretty decent way. And Mater Dei had one-on-one coverage of Campbell out there, and Danville had a downfield blocker to take care of that, and Campbell danced it on in.
Danville beating Southmont, Tri-West Hendricks, shutout Monrovia, shutout Western Boone to get here.
Coach Gable's down there saying he wanted that holding call down there at about the 15-yard line, and he won't get it now anymore, but I think he had some pretty decent drive.
This is Mallory. To the 31. If not hit, maybe closer to getting out to the 40. And I believe it was Matt Scott again. He kicks that thing off, and boy, does he get upfield in a hurry. He may have saved 10 yards right there.
Well, Mater Dei really has an effective kickoff return. They set up the little kind of just a diagonal to open up the sideline. Danville actually penetrated that better than I've seen most teams. Mallory flew by them and then caught up to his blockers and got into a little bit of traffic, but a very nice kickoff return. Mater Dei starts at their own 30.
First and 10 from the 30. Schiff has kept a couple of times tonight. Shook a couple, got out to about the 34, gain of 4. Brings up second down and 6. Fort Wayne Lures looking on tonight, no doubt. They have the winner of this one. Everything is set except for the 2A and 1A. Perry Central at Indianapolis Ritter earlier tonight. And then your state championship will be set. An official timeout here. And this will just be for an equipment adjustment. Surprises last night to some. Ben Davis, maybe not in the way, maybe not that they won, but the way they won, beat Bloomington South 38-0. Penn beat Fort Wayne Northrop. It's almost fitting in 5A. The two teams that have compiled the most state championships in the 90s will close out the 90s next Saturday night. Right now we're trying to see who will play Fort Wayne Lures in the 2A state championship. Wide open, a nice turn, a first down for Justin Elpert.
Boy, Schiff really took a shot in the back, Darren, and a pretty late one. They are really letting Danville get some shots in, and that Schiff took a good one that time.
You still want to send this tape to the officials? They
No. No.
Earlier tonight, the officials had asked us, can we get a copy of this with Pete's address and phone number, maybe? Here's first and 10 from the 42. Wildcats, not done yet. Schiff found Weinzappel, a flag as Schiff was hit late. 2 flags. Both which will be declined, or at least one of them, because they'll pick up the first down.
Boy, that was flagrant. That's borderline ejection. That was so far after the play. You know, this is not a habit that you like, you know, to get on this little soapbox here, but I mean, that was extremely late, and that was right into the back, and that was extremely late. You know, I mean, they need to talk about that one a little bit.
Sorting this out. Well, hold, offsetting penalties. A hold on the Wildcats, and then roughing the passer. Actually, right before that.
We have offsetting penalties.
The hold happened around the 37.
Well, you know, I guess you figure if you get one late shot in from the quarterback, you might as well see if you can get another one. They finally get caught on that one, and unfortunately for Mater Dei, it just is a replay down.
Advantage Danville on that one, boy. First and 10 from the 42. Here again is Schiff. Deep again, looking for Jared Schiff. Juggles and taken down at the 12. He has had some monster bombs tonight, has he not?
Boy, he sure has, and that's really against some pretty good pass defense that Danville is bringing at these guys, And really, that's the only place that Schiff can put that ball. And what a catch by Cousin Jarrett.
46-27, 37 seconds left, third quarter. Mater Dei needs a quick score. Handoff, design play, Mallory. Mallory, close, taken out inside the 5.
Boy, they just sealed it off that time for Mallory and looked at his speed because the sophomore has some feet. And he just about turned that in.
It'll bring up second and a deuce. No less than that will they spot that. With every inch counting, that's second, about 1.75 yards. Mater Dei knocking on the door in a high-scoring affair. Schiff keeps. Touchdown!
Just a little dive right. He ducked his head and went with it, and Mater Dei sealed it off for him. Nice little dive by Jake Schiff to finish this drive. Boy, some big receptions here in this third quarter by the Wildcat receivers, Albert Schmidt and Jared Schiff, to keep them in this ball game. And they just won't go away. And Danville, you know, if you're Danville, well, you just get a little tired of swatting flies all the time, and that's just what Mater Dei has become for them. And they are really keeping it in this ball game.
Here's a fake. Two-point conversion, juggled down to the end zone. No good. I do not know what Fort Wayne Lures has, but they better have a pretty good defense. 79 points now combined in not even 3 quarters played. 46-33, and within reach again for the Mater Dei Wildcats, setting up a lot of drama for our fourth quarter, now 18 seconds away.
An entire fourth quarter, you know, there's been about 3 football games played in these 3 quarters, and it's just been an amazing night of football here at Wright's Bowl, and you know, we're seeing both offenses at their best. And the big thing for the Wildcats is they have survived that first quarter where, you know, I mean, it just looked like it'd be devastating, and they fought back. Danville came back in the third quarter and opened it right up again, but Mater Dei just has a never-say-die attitude. And, you know, other coaches around the city and the conference will tell you the entire school takes to any playing field believing that they are going to win that game no matter what they face. And so, you know, these guys still believe that they can win this ball game because of that. They can.
18 seconds left in the third quarter. Danville to get it back. The lead, an interesting 13. Like I said, setting up all kinds of drama for the fourth quarter still to come here tonight. Little bobble that time, but able to hold on and get out to about the 24 and close to about the deepest they have been so far tonight.
Well, that's
Jim Wright, you know, brings you out to almost the 25-yard line.
And to say that's the worst field position that they've had in the third quarter, you know, that's telling it like it is. And at the 25 is not too bad. So, you know, they've really they've taken advantage of every opportunity that they've had, with the exception of the turnover Mater Dei forced at the 5.
Should be the final play here of the third. Himsel again, hands off as they get to the 30. So a gain of about 6, and second down and 4 coming up. And the latest carry that time by Brandon Campbell. There are 3 quarters in the book and just 1 quarter left in somebody's season. Who will play Fort Wayne Lures for the state championship? We'll find out as we head to the fourth quarter. Go there next on WB 19.
We have over 650 items in stock. Aluminum, stainless, brass, and copper. We can find or special order any item that you need. We also have some of the most advanced metalworking equipment in the world. We can fabricate the metal we sell to any specification that you have.
Making the most of metal since 1946.
If you're someone looking for great places to eat, you need to look for us, Dining Discoveries, every Sunday afternoon right here on WB19. I'm Jim Knopf, and I'm here with you from Sundays from 5 until 6 p.m. with some of the Tri-State's best restaurants, and all the certificates are to half price. We've got great restaurants from Owensboro, Kentucky, to Madisonville, Henderson, as well as Evansville, Indiana. So if you're looking for great places to eat, look for us Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m. on WB19.
I'm Darren Smith, Pete Hillenbrand, along for the ride Saturday night at Wrightsville. 2nd and 4 coming up with the Danville Warriors. Danville leading Mater Dei 46-33, 79 points in 3 quarters, and still a very big 4th in front of us.
3 in the 3rd for the Danville Warriors. A 20-yard and a 5-yard touchdown run from Clint Hemsel, and Brandon Campbell with the 23-yarder.
Here's Clint Hemsel. He's done a good job with that stiff arm, picking up the first down. He's off and pulled out at the 35, saving 6, Eric Daywig, and that's not the first time Daywig's done that tonight.
Boy, that was huge there because no one was catching Hemsel. Daywig got the go-go gadget arms out there on the jersey of Hemsel and was able to drag him down. But a lot of damage done on the run, but fortunately not 6 more.
On a lot of teams, you try to waste a lot of clock here as well. But this is the Wildcats who, like Danville tonight, is scored at will. Quickly. 1st and 10 from the 34. 46-33 Danville. Not a lot on the last. Keeper again that time by Hemsel. Looking better than I thought. Actually picked up 3 and comes 2nd and 7 for the Warriors.
Hemsel now over 100 yards. With his last 36-yard run, 128 yards on 18 carries for the quarterback Clint Hemsel. And Hemsel really is who Coach Copeland credits with this success. He says he's very smart about when to give up the football, when to run it himself.
Brandon Campbell. His number called the most tonight for Danville. It was more the freshman last week. 150 yards for Jake Powers. He has his share of carries tonight. A big 3rd and 4 now for Danville. Clock rolls, 10:50 left in regulation.
This is where the trouble comes when you're down to a running team. You have to have the football back. Mater Dei capable of scoring quickly, but not without the ball.
The freshman close to a first down in 4-down territory. Jake Powers. That's a name we're going to hear statewide for the next 3 years.
These 2 teams are likely to become very well acquainted with each other over the next few years.
We have a timeout for a measurement.
Danville will be hurt quite a bit by graduation, but they know how to train them early as well as Mater Dei does with their passing attack.
Here's the timeout for the measurement here. We'll see how close. That's the first down.
You know, I have that for Powers' first carry of the second.
Yeah, it is. Danville out of the Sagamore Conference, spending their first year there after moving out of the West Central. Quite frankly, the West Central, a very poor conference. They wanted more opposition, so to speak. Frankfurt, Lebanon. And they got it in the Sagamore Conference. Well, they're undefeated in the Sagamore Conference as they went undefeated this season.
Yeah, look for them to join the Big Ten next year.
Shaking loose. Hemsel. Touchdown. 7 touchdowns in 2 weeks for the senior. 30th touchdown of the year.
And 3 of those here in the second half of this ball game. And they're tough to bring down. And you're asking a lot of a defense that's been on the field quite a bit of this ball game. But a lot of speed in the white jerseys tonight.
52-33. Other than when Mater Dei made their run in the second quarter to close the gap to 5, Danville's done a good job of keeping this margin. The two-point conversion finally works. And Danville's biggest lead tonight is 21 points. 10-11 left in the fourth. You're watching the 1999 2A semi-state championship game on WB19.
SOS in America, spotlighting the most important issue.
Criminals, con artists, to make all kinds of money, targeting you. Now SOS in America is targeting them.
Consumer, investigative, real life.
If it's happening here, it's happening to you.
SOS in America gives you the inside edge, so you're always ahead of the game.
It's more than a news magazine show.
Sunday morning at 8 on WB19.
On a mission to Deep Space Nine, two forgotten sons make a desperate search for their long-lost fathers. My father is dead. No, he's not. For Data, a bizarre vision compels him to submit to a deadly experiment. You've crossed over the threshold. I'm proud of you, son. For Worf, it's a journey to a Romulan prison camp. We are not leaving here. Next time on Star Trek, The Next Generation.
Mondays at 5:30 on WB19.
Does Mater Dei have some magic left? 10-11 left in the fourth. Down by 3 touchdowns. 54-33. Danville.
Not what they expected, I'm sure, coming out of the locker room at halftime. Second quarter was all theirs. Got the defense clicking, but now the momentum with Danville. They have completely taken over and gone back to their scoring ways that we saw in the first quarter.
Albert Schmidt shaking it 2 to beat to the 45, the Danville 45. We have seen mighty big returns tonight.
Well, the one thing that you won't see tonight is Mater Dei giving up.
No.
You know, they will continue to come, and what fight Albert Schmidt showed on that return, and you know, they're not going to stop till the clock's at 0, and they just don't believe that they're going to lose. You know, that's what makes this team so magical and so successful. Is they don't believe it. I mean, they just absolutely refuse to believe it, and they're going to bring everything they have at you until the clock's done.
87 points combined scored in this game so far. It's still 10 minutes to come. Schiff up the middle. Finds Elpers for a first down to the 32.
That's just what they need. They have time still to take them a few yards at a time, and you know, that time it happens to be 12, but 10 minutes and they need 3 scores. And you know, it's a task that this type of offense can achieve.
Shuttle pass in front failed to work. They lose a couple on that one. They tried to go to Wilderman. That worked earlier. Actually worked a couple of times tonight.
It hasn't broken big yet against this team, but it has gone for gainers the first couple of times they used it, but that time they saw it coming and met Nathan at the line and dropped him back for a loss of a couple.
This will be 2nd and 13 for Mater Dei. They start looking at the clock now, down by 21. 9 minutes, 10 seconds left here in the fourth. Schiff looking for a quick score. Again, runs himself out of trouble. Let it go late, threw it away.
A wise decision by Jake that time.
Well, Jesse Tucker's on your back for one. There's 225 pounds of trouble.
Well, that was just great combination defense. They blitzed just one man and still had good coverage back into the secondary. So they had time for the blitz to take effect. And Schiff had to throw it away.
8 minutes, 55 seconds left here in the fourth. You're looking at 3rd and 3 on the Danville 35. Schiff again looks for Moore, about 2 yards in front of Moore that time.
Boy,
that was 6.
Just missed Matt that time. That time Matt had beaten the coverage, and Danville dodged a bullet that time.
We talked all year about this team is so young, they're only going to get better. And if they don't make it this year, you feel particularly for the seniors, because there are some, and quite a few that have seen some playing time this year, like a Matt Moore, like a Justin Elpers. This is their last shot to get to the dome.
Clint Hemsel is back in the safety spot. He's not normally a defensive player. However, Danville thought they would benefit by having
Gotta go for it here.
Ability back there.
On 4th and 13, that's a first down. You had to go. Granted on the 35, but a no-brainer, and it pays off.
Mallory comes up with it, scoops it up off of the dirt, makes it complete. That's a big break for Mater Dei. They had to have that first down.
And now for the Wildcats, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know, they not only got to score here, they've got to score pretty soon. Down by 21, 8.5 left. Schiff going to pick up about 5 on his own, halfway home. Second down and 5 as he gets out to the 15.
Nice work by Schiff. That carry has really been mixing it up pretty well. And picking up some yards on the ground.
Second and 5. Schiff, company there, found his receiver, Justin Elpers. Double coverage that time. Elpers, as he so often has this season, makes the big grab, and another Mater Dei first down.
They'll stop the clock to set the chains. And now they're inside the 10 with first and goal situation.
And they're even thinking a couple of plays ahead. We've got to get into the end zone. We've got to kick the extra point. Then we've got an onside kick. First and goal from the 9. Schiff lets it go into the corner. Far corner. Flag on the play. Incomplete, or was it pass interference?
It'll be one way or the other. There was a lot of contact down there in the end zone. Normally goes against the defense, but
Mater Dei hasn't got a whole lot of calls tonight, but they will get this one.
When you get a lot of contact down there, you just don't know, from here actually what'll take place. And this call favors Mater Dei, and they'll gladly accept it.
So a first and goal coming up. Half the distance to the 4.5. 7:31 left here in the fourth quarter. Triplets to the outside here for Schiff. Hands to Wilderman. Wilderman gets to about the 2. Nice second effort that time by the junior.
I tell you what, I don't know how Nathan is doing it. He's just doing an incredible job. Bouncing off of the big lineman down there and picking up the yards.
Second and goal from the 2. Hands off. Touchdown, Wilderman.
Boy, Nathan deserved that touchdown tonight. He has really picked up some tough yards for the Wildcats. And they give it to him to ice that drive, and he punches it in and continues to keep the Wildcats in this football game.
You go for one here. You're down by 21. B.J. Porter. He's been outstanding this year. B.J. Porter, just a junior. Look forward to watching him kick in 2000 as well. Extra point is up and good. 7 minutes left. We keep it here. 94 points in this semi-state. 54-40 Danville. And I'll say it again, not knowing what Lures has over in Fort Wayne. I hope they have some kind of defense, or that one could get ugly.
Boy, it's just been an amazing football game. it's been all offense and an occasional defensive stop. And I don't know that anybody expected this. You know, I thought a lot of people thought they'd see a shootout tonight, but I mean, this is shootouts with the big guns. You know, this is no high noon deal. This is, you know, but they've got the big guns going out there on the field tonight. 94 points on the board with 7 minutes left in this ball game, and the Cats faced with a decision here to think about the onside kick or kick it deep, and no question about it, onside kick is coming. They want the rock back.
7 minutes left. The way field position's been tonight, even if Danville gets it around the 40, their own 40, it's about where, you know, both teams have been getting the ball tonight. Just good position to start your drives tonight.
Mater Dei spreads it out.
We're not sure he's just as obvious, so they're going to kick it away. Now, onside kick got to go 10 yards. There's the hop they were looking for, and it found the hands of the freshman, Jake Powers. 6:56, a 14-point lead. You just go ahead and try to bust it into the score. If you're Bob Copeland, you work some clock here, I'm sure, at the same time.
Well, he'll just do more of the same. They've done it so well, and if he scores in the process, yeah, he'll take it. I mean, you know, I'm sure his main objective is to keep the ball out of the hands of Mater Dei. And so, you know, he's probably going to work the middle. If he needs to, go outside. But he'd like to have I think he'd trade any points for 6 minutes, 56 seconds with the football right here.
There again, the freshman Jake Powers breaks the 45. Danville's never been to the state championship in football. Bob Copeland has. He won it all with Eastern Hancock in 1985. Again, is in his 20th year overall. He is 3 wins shy of picking up his 100th here at Danville. Springfield High School, an Ohio grad. Graduated also from Ohio University. He's trying to take Danville to the state championship for the first time ever. Second down, and about 8. The freshman Powers. Well, they've been working some clock, but they're about halfway home, and Mater Dei needs a quick stop.
It's third and about 5, long 4. And now, you know, it's important for them to think 3 and out and get the football back. Need a big stop right here.
5:50 left in the fourth quarter. This is 3rd and 5. This is Himsel, close to a first down.
He doesn't have it, but it's 4th and very, very short.
I think it's a no-brainer. I think they go for it.
Well, you want to keep the ball out of the Wildcats' hands. You don't really want to give it to them at your 40 or their own 40.
But if you kick it and you don't find the corners, it's going to be on the 20, and that's one pass from Schiff.
I think it's
they're going to go for it.
No question. I mean, there was no hesitation on their part. He'll ride the big guys.
On 4th and 1, I think Mater Dei may have stopped him.
Well, judging from the spot, he doesn't have it. He's well short. They went to the big man, Jake Powers, and I really think they needed to run the Himsel keeper and just follow his line. They hesitated with the handoff, and I think that cost them the first down.
There is still a chance. With 4:56 left in regulation, Mater Dei down by 14. More importantly, they have the football back. They'll begin this drive on the 37. Now, here comes your 2-minute offense. We've seen Brother do it so many times. Now Jake. Still room to pass. Let that one go late and eventually threw it away, but actually found the fingertips of Jared Schiff, however, out of bounds around the 39. So here comes 2nd down and 10.
Boy, big hit put on Schiff that time. Good pressure from David Moore. And he got the hit on Jake just after Jake let it go. They've been giving him a hard way to go back there. He's taking some pops. These are just tough kids. You know, there's just so much difference between seniors and sophomores, but you have to be told that the guys in the golden helmets tonight are sophomores because they just don't look like underclassmen at all. What a great deal of character they have.
Second down and 10 for Mater Dei. Schiff wobbly that time. It took off on him a bit high, looking for Matt Moore. He's gone there before tonight. And a very important 3rd and 10. Let's face it, it's going to be 2 tries here to pick up 10 yards regardless.
Well, they've been throwing into good defense all night. And they've had pretty good success with it so far. But they have a couple of plays to go 10 yards. And a lot of different ways to do it.
3rd down 10. They need to get to the 47 to keep the drive alive. There's the flat pass. And there is Justin Elpers, who tries to go to Mallory. Incomplete.
Well, that was very well covered. They had 5 in the area.
Son of a gun.
And that's a tough one. That's just good defense because that is designed to be a big play. And they covered it very well. You know, Mater Dei runs that flat pass lateral so often to where they'll run it straight up and, you know, make that catch and run it right at you. And they pull up and pass. A lot of times catch the defense off guard, but not these Warriors.
For all intents and purposes, this may be the game. 4th and 10 with 4.5 left. Schiff looks, finds Elpers. 1st down.
They just keep on coming and keep on coming. What these guys have accomplished this year is quite incredible, and they're working on accomplishing a semi-state championship. Just a fun team to watch.
On the 39, down by 14. Here's 1st and 10 again for Mater Dei. Schiff up the middle. About 7 yards that time. And again finds Jared Schiff.
They go with no huddle. Schiff barking out the signals.
2nd and 4. Looking far side, wide open. Justin Elpers down to the 17. I said this before. The most entertaining team to watch on offense in southwestern Indiana.
No question about it. They even had one of their receivers lassoed out of the play that time, and they still came up with the big completion.
1st and 10 now from the 17. Mater Dei says they're not done yet. Schiff gonna keep. Still has time to throw. He's behind that line and almost found a receiver in the end zone.
Boy, how much confidence does Jake Schiff have? You know, he just threw that right to the sideline in the end zone. There were 3 Warriors in coverage back there, and he just puts that ball on a dime. You know, he has to throw it to the line, the only chance they have for a completion. And you know what? These guys usually make that catch. They come through for it so well.
There's the storyline, 3:40 left. Mater Dei looking at 2nd down and 10. Almost found Mallory in the end zone that time. Quick word from Gable to Schiff before he lets this one go. Up the middle, looking for the end zone. Touchdown! Justin Elpers. Mater Dei within 8.
Wow.
Pete, this game has been over twice, and Mater Dei just continues to come back.
I'm telling you, Darren, they just do not believe that they can lose. You know, that word just does not exist at Mater Dei High School this year. And they just will not accept that.
B.J. Porter. That is up. That is good. 3 minutes, 34 seconds. And Mater Dei trails by now just 7. Back for the finale on WB19.
On the next Party of 5, if you were torn between the love of your life,
Sarah. Hi.
and the babe of your dreams,
That's you, Cal. My one good friend.
wouldn't you lose it too?
Just because you sleep in my room now doesn't mean you're being kept.
Bailey self-destructs.
We're supposed to not let each other do stupid things. That is the job. Yeah, well then you're fired. We're not going to leave you. It's a little late for that, sir.
On Party of 5.
Sunday at 9 on WB19.
Bored? Escape to Sin City with your favorite stars for a Las Vegas extravaganza. This weekend on Access Hollywood. From private jets to $6,000 a night penthouse suites, experience the swankiest side of the Strip. Then party with the likes of Pamela Lee, Brad Pitt, and Carmen Electra at the hottest spots in town. Plus, catch a live performance from musical legend Sting. And see Siegfried and Roy's amazing wild animal show in 3D. A Las Vegas extravaganza this weekend on Access Hollywood.
Sunday at 10 on WB19.
Welcome back to Wrights Bowl. Hey, Saturday late nights. We're still with you. 54-47, 3:34 left. Onside kick, Mr. Hillenbrand.
Well, Mater Dei has had so much luck with their onside kick in the past, and they haven't enjoyed that yet tonight. And you know the way the percentages go, they need to get the ball back. 3.5 minutes they need it, or a 3 and out. But this game goes right down to the wire.
What a football game. And that's so often said, but this one has certainly been a classic. Onside kick coming for the Wildcats. They have trailed twice by 20 or more. Here's the onside kick. Got to go 10. Fingertips to it. Danville holds on at the 46, their own. 3.5 left, and this one is still undecided.
Well, they still have their timeouts left, so a 3 and out is what they need. They can hold Danville to that. Pick up the ball around their own 30, possibly. And they'll let them work that sophomore magic all over again. But the defense, it's big time for the defense.
1st and 10 for Danville. Himsel hands off. They find running room and a first down to the 40.
Well, they blitzed and they picked it up very well and just ran to the right hole.
Brandon Campbell has had a great night. And they will work as much clock while doing so. 3:20 and counting, you see it there. Again, Mater Dei, if you're just joining us here late on a Saturday night, trailed in this game by 20 or better twice. 1st and 10 for Danville. Himsel wrapped around his legs, but after he picked up 2.
Well, that's the play that has really been tough for Mater Dei to pick up. That's the exact play that Himsel scored 2 touchdowns off of. The Wildcats picked it up that time, and they held him to just a couple of feet. So 2nd down and a long 9. Looking for a couple more stops like that.
Mater Dei with all their timeouts. Should remind you, with 2:37 left. Hold on. 2nd, close to 9 for Danville. Muscling it forward as they crack the 35. Still not enough for a first down, and now 4-down territory for the Warriors.
I tell you what, they just get off of the ball so well when they need to, and a quarterback sneak goes for about a good 6 yards. Really doing a good job down in the trenches.
Mater Dei will stop the clock. This is the first of 3 timeouts for the Wildcats. 3rd and 4 coming up. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left.
Well, they spin the timeout now. Wise use of one. Looking for a big stop here with 2:15 to play, and force Danville to make another decision on what to do. But the defense to answer one more bell, one at a time, we'll say, and get the ball back in the hands of Jake Schiff.
3rd and 4 for Bob Copeland's Danville Warriors. Danville, final poll, #1 team in the state of Indiana at 13-0. Have been tested only a couple of times this year. A scare in the Southmont game in the opening week of the sectional. They've been rolling over opponents ever since. Thought they had the Wildcats put away twice tonight. They're looking at 3rd and 4. And a big stop by the Wildcats. Matt Dugan really had nowhere to go, and they knocked him back a couple of yards.
He lost one, and that time they filled all the holes with their blitz. The last time they brought a big blitz like that was 1st and 10 when Danville just got the ball on this drive. Danville found the hole. Mater Dei left nothing to be exploited that time and took Dugan back for a loss. So now fourth and a long 4, just about 5, and Danville's faced with a tough decision here. I think you have to try to pin the Wildcats back. I think if you go for it, don't make it. You know, they're up at their own 35-yard line. I think they're a lot more dangerous there. What a chess match this becomes at this point.
Well, I've been told this is not in Matt Scott's field goal range, because certainly if it was, you're looking at 2 scores and 2:08 now left to play.
You're looking at a 53-yarder.
No, you're not going to see it.
Not many high school kids. I know there's a couple of them around this area that can get that done, but
one played in this stadium this year. This is 4th and 5, and needless to say, as big as that 4th and 10 was for Mater Dei 10 minutes ago, Mater Dei needs an awfully big stop right here to give them a shot at the state championship.
I tell you what, Mater Dei is wanting. They are getting pretty fired up down there right now, and I think we're going to see a timeout called by Danville as Himsel is over on the sidelines talking things over with Coach Copeland, and it looks like there's no question they're going for it here.
Well, look at this crowd here tonight. Isn't high school football great?
It doesn't get any better than this. That's been said millions of times. It's never been more true. You know, here you are. 101 points scored in a high school football game, and it's still not over yet.
There's always a game, Pete, you and I would probably vote as the most exciting this year, and the verdict's still out on this one. Certainly, Mater Dei and Wrights to end the regular season is still probably going to rank up there as just the most awesome this year with the almost sellout crowd. If Mater Dei can hold them here and come back and take them, I don't think there'd be any question what would be most awesome. This is 4th and 5. Can you believe this? Mater Dei needs a stop. They're going to kick it away and look for the corners. They got the roll they wanted inside the 5.
I really like that decision.
If it works, it doesn't roll into the end zone.
If so, even then, you know, you're trading 15, 20 yards there, and they just kind of punch it in. I really think that's a wise move. And Mater Dei takes over deep in their own territory, I believe with 2 timeouts remaining. And boy, what a nice punt that was.
There he is. There's the man who has to work his minute 58 offense.
And now they need the sidelines a little bit more than the middle. Makes it a little easier to defend, but it's such a dangerous offense.
Giving Jake Schiff a chance. Unloads the first, finds the receiver in Justin Elpers, who gets out of bounds. That time to the 11.
I think gives his quarterback a little bit more breathing room and picks up about 7 and gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Clock stop, 1:52. I'm nervous for the Wildcats. I can't imagine how the diehard fans got through this one. And there are so many of them. 2nd and 4. Mallory on the flat has the first down. Shakes a couple to the 36. Did he get out?
I think they kept him in bounds. He got out of bounds. He got out of bounds to stop the clock. Big work by Patrick Mallory.
First and 10 from the 35. Schiff. Right to the sidelines, right to Mallory. Stops the clock, another Wildcat first down.
Boy, and another pop on Schiff. I tell you what, Jake has really stood up to some pretty hard hits. Those guys have really been in his face back there. He stepped in and stayed in till the very last second to find his receivers. He's paid the price, but he is very fired up right now.
Nail-biting time began about 20 minutes ago. First and 10 from their 49. A buck and a half left. Flat again. There again is Justin Elpers. Elpers keeps it going and gets out of bounds into enemy territory at the 37.
Well, that goes for about 15 and another first down, and more importantly, they continue to get out of bounds. These pass plays are working very well, and they're sealing off the middle with their blocks to allow the receivers to run around down the sideline and force the tackle to the outside. They're forcing Danville to take them out of bounds.
First and 10, 38, 1:23 left. Shift to the outside. Mallory tripped up. You can see he was trying to get out of play.
Now you need to get the snap off, because that time they covered it very well and they weren't able to get out of bounds. The clock continues to run.
Coming up on a minute left. Shift on 2nd and 10. Found his receiver again and found Justin Elpers.
And they keep Elpers in bounds that time. So
that's big.
It's a bend but don't break so far for the Danville Warriors. And the clock continues to run. And Mater Dei on 3rd down, they can't spike it. They want to get the crowd quiet.
Yeah, they're excited, but
they want to get the crowd quiet.
Schiff can't hear.
The guys can hear his signals.
Unloads. Finds Elpers again inside the 20.
And now you stop the clock to move the chains with 28 seconds.
What a finish.
There are just so many receivers that you can find. It's a good thing that Schiff is a man that doesn't have any problem making a decision.
Wildcats maybe looking at one play in the end zone and not before they talk about it. Timeout with 26 seconds left.
Well, after that first quarter, who would have thunk the stage was being set for a finish like this? Mater Dei looking to punch it in the end zone and I assume get this thing into overtime.
This is unreal. Late night on a Saturday, worth taking another look at, or maybe you're seeing it for the first time. Look at this crowd.
Haven't seen a high school game, a football game like this in all the years. Probably our years combined.
Our 10th season, and boy, I'll tell you, what a way to close out our 99 campaign.
Cats getting it talked about in the huddle down there. They believe it, Darren. And here they go.
26 seconds left. First and 10 from the 17. Schiff looks. Will have to run and try to get out of bounds as he is clobbered right around the 14.
He got out of bounds. He's a little slow to get up. Danville, I don't think, believes he got out of bounds, and he might have got a little break took a powder. He's been taking some shots all night.
14 seconds left.
Well, he's a little shaken up out there, but he's standing in.
If there's anybody sitting down, I don't see them. Everybody on their feet. This is second down and 6, 14 seconds left. Schiff looking towards the end zone. And
that'll draw a flag. It should draw a flag.
Mater Dei wanting pass interference as they look to Justin Elpers right around the 1.
That was all about contact down there. That's a tough break for Mater Dei. That's a tough break. Still with 2 chances to get this into the end zone if time allows. Just 9 seconds on the clock.
Third down and 6, key stat, 9 seconds left.
I think the corner is where it'll happen. That seems to be the point where they're able to get Danville on their hip and make a break.
Schiff again looking towards the end zone. Bobbled. Incomplete. Oh, a fingertip. Maybe an entire hand to it that time. And it wasn't there for Jared Schiff.
Just about taken care of that time by Schiff. But now on 4th down, I think they'll be looking to the corner again, but I think we're going to see somebody flash across the middle this time, and Schiff will just look for the open man. We'll see what they set up here, but I think, you know, so far it looks like the corner is where they're going to get someone open and probably flash somebody across the middle.
The entire season riding on this with 3 seconds left. This is 4th and 6. Schiff looks towards the end zone. Broken up.
Well, Danville took advantage of everything they could that time. They were all over the defenders and were getting those calls, so why not? You know, a lot of contact in the end zone, and they survive it. And Mater Dei, just, you know, what an attitude of these Wildcats, because they refuse to accept it, and that's what will make winners. That's why they're winners, and that's what will build a state championship for them in the near future, but not this year.
They will talk about the close ones in flags that may have been thrown. Danville, 14-0. The #1 team in the state of Indiana in Class 2A. They just might be. They have a date with Fort Wayne Lures in the state championship on Friday night. The Mater Dei Wildcats, Pete, 12-2 on a team made up mostly of sophomores.
Boy, just an unbelievable season. Really a dream season, Darren, and all the preseason, you just didn't hear much about them. They were the team that graduated 19 starters from last year. 19, and unheard of. They come back and tie the city in the conference championship and find themselves in just a complete knockdown, drag-out semi-state battle with the #1 team in the state in their class, and just about make a dream come true after being, you know, surviving that devastating first quarter. What a ball game they made it. What a season it's been.
It has been a great season for us once again here at WB19 as we close out our 10th season of bringing you high school football. This one was not decided until the final second. What a way to close out our 99 campaign. Congratulations to Danville. Congratulations to the Mater Dei Wildcats, who have at least a regional belt in 1999. And what's in store in 2000, I think it will be grand. For Pete Hillenbrand, I'm Darren Smith. Good night.
Faces I remember, I still see, places in a memory hold on to me, and I can't